The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio A.M. Today is Friday, May 15th. It's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning, and once again, this is CA Newry, and I shall be your host for today. I'm going to slow things down, make a sober contribution today. I have a voice clip from the head of the Caribbean delegation, former Jamaican Prime Minister. Why is he President? Bruce Golden, and his assessment, or their assessment of our election. He did a brief summary, a commentary, and I want to play that, and I want you to comment on that and see if you agree with his assessment. A number of these things that he commented when he was here the last time, or when the Caribbean grouping was here the last time, they recommended these things already. So you all need to do this. The Bahamas needs to do this. And we ain't listen because we ain't interested. They hear again. They can make some recommendation. And I asking you now, the listening audience, do you think that we can listen? Or we ain't interested again? They talking about that campaign finance reform again, and I'm looking at that. So no, we don't want that. We don't want no campaign finance reform because money got to spend. The Bahamian people don't want no campaign finance reform because money has to spend. We know and we saw how much money has to spend. We talk a good game. Oh, this need to change, that need to change. But when you go on the ground, we complain, if you ain't bringing something. If you ain't bringing the vouchers, remember that with came on the news? Spend more vouchers, give out more vouchers. If you're not buying gas for us, you won't get elected. But I'm just talking now to get that report queue up. Okay, Kermit says queue up. So listen intently. This is from Bruce Golden, former Prime Minister of Jamaica, who's the head of the team that came to the Bahamas, the Commonwealth observers, and Commonwealth mean all the Commonwealth countries, Commonwealth observers, and his assessment. So we'll listen to that right now.
The Commonwealth Observer Group delivered an interim statement today at the British Colonial Hotel, just days after the general election. The group has been in the Bahamas assessing the integrity of the electoral process and reviewing the country's progress in implementing recommendations from previous Commonwealth Observer missions. Chairperson of the Commonwealth Observer Group and former Jamaican Prime Minister Bruce Golding praised the Parliamentary Registration Department for the introduction of the biometric voter cards, describing the system as more secure.
The group commends the Parliamentary Registration Department for the work undertaken to remove the names of deceased persons from the voters' register and for the introduction of the biometric voter card. It is far more secure, efficient, and durable than the paper card, and we recommend that the paper card be retired and the biometric card be made a requirement for future elections.
Golding also noted concerns raised by some individuals who said that their names did not appear on the voters' register despite having registered. The Observer Group recommended that a voters' list be made easily accessible online to help the public verify their registration status ahead of Election Day.
We recommend that before the list is certified, a preliminary list should be made available by website so that voters would be able to verify that their name is on the list and assigned to the correct constituency.
He also expressed concern over the low number of voters who cast ballots, noting that while more than 200,000 people were registered to vote, only just over 60,000 participated in the election. He added that voter turnout across Caribbean islands has been in shine.
But what I think needs to worry all of us is that is a trend. With each election since 2017, the numbers seem to be in sharp decline. And I would worry as to, if the next elections are held in 2033, what the turnout will be at that time.
Golding said it is frustrating to see the lack of meaningful change over the years. He added that the people of the Bahamas must take ownership of the reform process and make it their business to push for improvements.
As I said before, we are frustrated. I told the Secretary General today that, in a sense, she may be wasting our money sending us here every 5 years to observe and to make the same recommendations and nothing happens. But I don't think even the Commonwealth Secretariat, and throwing the OAS and throwing CARICOM, I don't believe that they alone will be able to persuade the reforms that are necessary. The people of the Bahamas need to make this their business.
Reporting for the Guardian News Network, I'm Arnika Bannister.
And as a report, as you heard from Arnika Bannister, I'm waiting for Garth Roseborough to join me to have this conversation. I want you to call in to have this conversation because some poignant recommendations was made. And I'm not sure people are analyzing, appreciating. Mind you, this is an interim report. So this is not the comprehensive report. There's going to be a comprehensive report with several pages where they will break things down, go in detail in terms of recommending what we should be doing. Mr. Golding scolded the Bahamas. He scolded the Bahamas, and not just the Bahamas, no, because when we say the Bahamas, we tend to have that gloss over and not appreciate. He scolded the people of the Bahamas. That's me and you. Anyone who listening to this, you all got scolded. Mr. Golden scolded us and said that if y'all don't push for it, it ain't gonna happen. Why? Because they have recommended a number of these things before, and looks like it's not going to be implemented. So if you want it implemented, it'll take the people of the Bahamas to push and demand. And I say, man, but we ain't interested. So keep your advice. Keep your advice. And Mr. Golden went as far as said, he's starting to think it's a waste of time for them to come. He said the OAS said it's a waste of time of us coming every 5 years and recommending the same thing. And at the end of the 5 years, nothing or few things have been implemented. So he said, stop it. He said it will take the Bahamian people to push the issue. And again, I said, but we ain't interested. Keep your recommendations, right? Keep your recommendations. But let me go. I took some notes on some things that Mr. Golden, and his group complimented the Bahamas on. Said that we did a good job, or cheers. Thank you for doing this. He said, the introduction of the biometric cards. I'm going to have you pause there. The introduction of the biometric cards, the voting biometric cards. Anyone get the voter's card yet? I mean, the biometric one? I was told that the card has been printed, but there's no biometric information attached to the card. It's just a basic card. It's like you photocopy it onto the card. So I hear Mr. Golden congratulating the Bahamas for introducing something that does not work, that is not in place. And he said that we need to replace that quickly, sooner than later, right? And I'm said, that was a last minute thing, to the point where at this election, they said, don't bring if you got your copy of the non-biometric card, what is a biometric card, don't bring it. Don't use it as an ID. Use the purple card. That's what we accepting. And some people say, why all that rush to help people take the picture? Because they know that the international observer is coming and they promised it the last time, so something had to be done, and we had something to show them. So see, we have an example of it. We printed some Because at one point in time, they say, come and collect it, and they tell you, don't come and collect it no more, right? Don't come and collect it no more. And if you collect it now, if you go to, and again, if you can call and say, if you collect it, and say, how yours look and how does it feel? If you collected your biometric card now, it's still useless because none of the biometric, let me use it as an ID, I guess. None of the biometric part of it works. That's where we are. It doesn't work. It's decoration. It's decoration. Looks nice, though. It's nice. And I love IDs, so the more IDs for me, the better it is. So I made sure go and apply for that. Mr. Golden also complimented the Bahamas. Even though he critiqued the Bahamian people, he complimented the Bahamas on erasing, updating the amount of dead people that was on the permanent voters list. Slow that down so you can think about that too. He said the Bahamas did a good job of having erased all of those people who has transitioned and their names are no longer on the national registry. And I put it to you, are you satisfied that and feel comfortable and secure? Comfortable and secure that the names have been purged, the listing has been purged, it's a good listing? You call and say, you could call and say if you are comfortable with that. Golden also says the new card is far more secured, more durable. That's because mine was mashed right up and tear up and wet up. So I need something harder, right? So you see me shame going to replace mine, say, man, this ain't working. I use that for ID to the bank. And it's all bent up or whatever it is. So he said this biometric card is more durable. So he wanted to commend the Bahamas. I don't even think more than 500 Bahamians have that card yet. I got to ask Garth when he comes inside, how many Bahamians you think has that biometric card? And what are you using the biometric card? Mr. Golden, the head of the Commonwealth Observers Team, right? And there's various different observers team who came down, the United States and OAS, et cetera, said that, watch this, you waiting for it? There needs to be an online website where you can type in your name and all your information comes up where they can say whether you're registered and what is your polling division or anything. Like I asked God if he came across any of that before the election. Did you come across a website link? We don't know who owns it, right? If you come across any website link that you type in your name and all your information come up with your picture, etc. When I went to the Bahamas Register Department on Howard Road, right? On Howard Road, there was a kiosk there. And my stepfather, he lost his voter's card, right? And I was trying to get a certified copy of it because you couldn't, the register was closed at the time, so you couldn't get a printout of a new one at the time. And this kiosk, I typed in his name. I think I typed in his street. Did I type in his street? But anyway, when I type in whatever I typed in, his picture came up, his street address came up, his birthday came up, all of the information, I think it was even the post office and whatever it is, all came up on this. And I said, man, this is beautiful. I even think there's a map on where he specifically lived, came up. But I said, man, I didn't know we had this type of technology here. Mind you, it's open for all. It wasn't something that was like only for him to get access to, or only for me to get access to. Any Bahamian who want to find out where my stepfather lived can type in his name and get all that information. That it looks just like the voter's card. All that information came up. So I said, I know we have the technology. The technology exists. I don't think that we have a website per se, even though there's a website floating around. But there's a kiosk at the parliamentary department there, and that you can go and type in your name and get that information. Mr. Golden also spoke about the low voters turnout and the new trend. Say from 2017 in this region, there's a downward trend of voters' participation. right? A downward trend of voters' participation. And right now we have all of the Monday morning quarterbacks, the backseat drivers who are now analyzing and giving their theory as to why there was a low voters turnout, right? And I was arguing with, debating. People get upset with certain words. I was debating with Clever on a telephone call that we cannot say exactly why there was a low voters turnout because we need social scientists to be employed to do their own investigation. So, and therefore, based on those people who did not vote, you do a census. You can't just come and say, I believe the people did not vote because of this and expect people to believe it because we all have opinions, right? I know we have an influx of Rastafarians now who just don't vote. And there's an increase in their numbers. We have an increase of Hebrew Israelites inside the Bahamas and other small religious grouping who have removed themselves from those political, and we call it young black men, who have removed themselves from this political involvement in terms of voting. Has that impacted our voters' turnout? To Jehovah's Witnesses? Have they impacted our voters? Did we count them to say, okay, we have 5,000 in them and we have to take them out of the register thing in terms of participation, right? Is it that a number of people are despondent and saying we're just not interested? But we just can't just say that without applying some kind of scientific research to it, and then we have a conclusion so we can actually respond to whatever the conclusion is. We just don't know, right? But these are some of the things I wanted to discuss with, and I see Garth Roseborough is inside the studio now. And I also want to talk about the recent appointments. I see Mr. Chester Cooper was appointment. You can call and talk about that, what you think about that. I see Michael Halkitis had made an appointment. You can call and talk about that. And I think, and I couldn't confirm this for this morning. Oh, I get a text? Okay, let me see the text to see who all get. Okay, yes, I get a text. I can tell you right now. So Minister of Education would be Chester Cooper. Attorney General will be Wayne Monroe. Minister of Foreign Affairs, again, will be Fred Mitchell. Minister of Finance, not Minister of State. I want you to make sure you understand the difference there. Minister of Finance will be Michael Halkitis. So that's 4 people within who has been named into the new cabinet, the new Philip Davis cabinet. You can call and give some commentary on that also, what you think about that in general. But let me welcome Garth Roseborough. I'll go to the text and go to the phone line. Welcome, Garth. How are you saying, man?
Well, it's a good Friday, eh?
It is a good Friday.
And I'm still listening to the emotional thoughts of many, but I think it's slowly sinking in that it's over and that we have to move on. We're still trying to find cause and reason as if election is next year again. Some people are trying to keep the campaign spirit alive, CA Newry, and while others are trying to move on. And so thank you for inviting me here once again. It was good to sit with you this week. Very interesting conversations, and happy to chime in.
Okay. So I want to talk about some of the critiques that Mr. Golden, the former Prime Minister of Jamaica, gave relating to our election process, right? He complimented us of implementing the biometric card. What do you think about that? Carlos, I come to you right now, so hold on for a minute. What do you think about that?
Well, I got a text on my way into the studio from a Jamaican who was married to a Bahamian female. He told me, tell Golden to stay out of Bahamian people business and fix Jamaica voice.
Lord have mercy.
So I just quoting what he said. There's so many issues that we're having in the Caribbean basin, bigger than that of a card. The biometric card is supposed to be a solution to question marks and curiosities, but I'm just about filled my cup and running over with these thoughts on election. If we're going to use the biometric card, let's all go and get ours. Like you just said a while ago, sure, 500 people got it in their possession and said, I use my purple card as too. So in me using my purple card, I didn't go to get my biometric card. So if this is going to be mandatory for the next general election, let's just say that, Let's show the positive side of that. Let's show the advantage of that, and let's move on if that is the better way.
Okay. Mr. Golden also was concerned about the low voters turnout.
Why?
Because none of us have committed to do any scientific research to conclude on why is there a downward trend.
Who cares?
Who cares why there's a downward trend?
You only care if you lose. When you win, who cares?
In the future, it might go down to like United States, 25,
who cares
30%.
did I win?
Yeah,
Life is short.
I understand.
70 years.
Yeah.
I won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, move.
Let me get mine.
I listen to that.
I don't know why, Brave has to say that PM disappointed by low turnout. He can say that because he's the winner.
Yes.
Had it been higher and he lost, you think this would have been his sentiment? Everybody loves a winner. You ever see when rich people crack a joke, everybody laughing?
I understand.
When poor people crack a joke, people, what you talking about? Anybody listening to you?
Yeah.
Okay then.
And they tell you need to go fix your business.
Okay then, fix your business.
Fix your
Anyone
business.
laughing with a broke man?
What about an
Or loser.
independent parliamentary secretariat, independent of, I think I call it right just now, of the government? Like a fix, and they fixing all the boundaries and so on.
CA Newry. I know people would like something different if they're looking for a different result. It sounds good. As long as the system is working with those who are the protectors of the system, I don't see much changing till the next general election. Where the oppositional forces are in this country that should be advocating for change, they have so much more work to do to fix themselves. I'm just so weak and tired of just listening to people cry and complain.
People talk for talking's sake?
That's what I'm talking about. It's just futile to me. Listen, we are in a country that we need a lot of things to be done. I get it. We have a lot of fixing to do. They call us a developing nation. That's who we are. They don't even call us a developed nation. In our minds, we are an independent nation. We are 53 plus years old. And as far as we're concerned, we are matured. To the world, we are still immature and still developing. So I get it. Okay, there's a lot of development to be done. But now look at yourself. If you're asking the nation to develop, the citizenry also has to develop itself. I do not see a development in the mindset of the average Bahamian citizenry.
Golden hinted towards that. It's a Bahamian people fault.
Okay.
But let me, before I go to the callers, I'm going to go to the callers right now. I'm going to go to the callers. Campaign finance reform is something Golden said that we may need. Do you see it ever coming?
Stop it.
Go ahead.
Stop it.
Go ahead.
Look, I got a call first thing when I woke up this morning saying, about corruption from one of our very good friends that calls in the Guardian radio. Oh, corruption. I said, well, who's corrupt? Oh, the PLP is corrupt. I said, okay, what about the FNM? Well, they're not as corrupt as the PLP. I said, what are the people? Yeah, we corrupt, but not as the PLP. Okay, so everybody corrupt, but not as much as the other person. So what you trying to tell me? And the minute the world hears that we all corrupt, that we all need to have these fixed dates, we all need to go ahead and look at campaign financing and how to put restrictions on campaign financing. The average Bahamian person, when a politician knocks on the door, the hand is out. Corruption. That's corruption right there. You want my support, you got to give me something. If you want my attention, you got to do something.
Bahamian's tingsy.
And then guess what? The verbiage is from the oppositional forces as well as from the governing force.
It's the culture of the Bahamas.
Take their money and vote against them.
Yes.
Isn't that what it said?
That's what he said.
Now, does that sound like a holy nation to you?
Sounds tingsy.
Does that sound to you like a Christian nation that you take people things and still do them in?
It sounds tingsy.
Oh, it sounds evil.
Well,
It's evil. Listen to me. If I take something from you, you got me. If I don't have you, I don't want nothing from you. That's the principle. But when you can start saying, "Oh, take their things and vote them out," how you not corrupt? That's a corrupt thought. That's evil. That's wicked.
Let's go to the callers because I like take things. Though. Anyway, go ahead, caller. Guardian Radio A.M. You live. God says that you shouldn't take the people things and vote opposite. What'd you say, caller? Go ahead.
Gentlemen.
Good morning.
Yeah. Okay. Now that the international observers are, we got some a bit of what they are where they're headed, but it will still wait for the final report on this year's election. But our environment and how we elect members of parliament, it is ripe for corruption. You can't run away from it. This is why I've been advocating, and I continue to do it. We need intellectual, political, live debates where everyone is vying for office, address the socio-economic issues. This is how we're going to deal with voter apathy. A lot of people don't want to get mixed up on how we elect members of parliament. And then that chaos on the advanced poll date, that could have also acted as a deterrent for people not to come out.
But we have other Caribbean nations who have debate, and our turnout is still more than theirs. So what your recommendation, even though I hear it, your recommendation, even though I hear it, you cannot correlate that it will increase by the debate. That you just saying just wantonly just for saying it. Go ahead.
What's wrong with trying it?
See, that's two different issues.
What's wrong with trying it?
Two different issues. Now you can say we can try this, but you cannot say that this what you're going to try will result in having more.
I believe. Hello.
I'm your man. Go ahead.
I honestly believe that we will see a paradigm shift. This nonsense we're partying and drinking and doing all this other stuff like that. Look, man, I am concerned when you find the lower spectrum of the intelligentsia community deciding my fate.
And I'll challenge you again. We have a democracy where democracy rules. Yeah. If you say the majority rules and the majority of people say they like carousing, who are you in your minority to try to talk to me?
Yeah, but I accept it.
Once you know you accept it.
I accept it, but that doesn't mean I can't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I still have a problem on how we elect people to. Look, everything what you all are talking now, none of that was discussed during the campaign trail.
Because the Bahamian people don't want to discuss it.
Why do you wake up every morning? Why do you wake up every morning to prepare, to do your research, prepare for show, to bring and to have an intelligence discourse if all is going to be lost in the rubble when the bell is rung?
And
what sense of having an intelligent discussion throughout the years and leading up to the election, you abandon it?
Clever, I hear you. One of the famous quotes says, you take the people where you find them. And you're not addressing the people issue where you find them, that the people them want to have party. So the goal now is when you go to their party, you try to infuse some of the things that you're trying to recommend and have it that they can learn from it. But telling them they got to stop it all together, that ain't working.
I'm not saying stop it, CA. I'm saying that you can have both.
Cleveland,
you can have your rally to appeal to your base, and you can also have intelligent discourse. Look, when you apply, I was talking to a prison officer this morning. He said you would like to know the vigorous interviews that they go through when it's time to, during the hiring process. They even do a background check on you. All of these things are not, why aren't these things applied to the politician who is vying for office?
Let me answer that, if I may, Brother Duncan.
And before I go, God, before you talk, before I go, before I go, I would like to say this. Didn't that comment you made about someone saying, tell Golding, that international observers is just one, that Golding is just one, but they came from all over the Caribbean, They didn't just come from Jamaica.
It's a Commonwealth.
That wasn't a Jamaican thing.
It's a Commonwealth.
That's the international observers who are handpicked from different places. That ain't just Jamaica.
Yeah, but see, to bring it locally, Cleveland.
Thank you very much, Cleveland.
To bring it locally, right? When we spoke here from Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, and we made observations as Bahamians with a passport, legal, born, mother from here, and we made our insertions, we got reports from the Free National Movement to stay out of their business. Now, that's locally. That's nationally. Now you're going to try to tell me the international people have some value and some weight as to our elections, and I, as a Bahamian, cannot criticize your party? I can't criticize the FNM. I cannot criticize the COI. I cannot criticize the PLP as a Bahamian, but yet you expect me to vote. I ask you the question this morning, can Golding vote? Can that international observance group vote in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas? Show me their voters card. Show me their biometrics card. Show me where they got to drive on these pothole roads. You show me that our issues are their issues, and then you have an issue here with me. You see, I don't like to be duplicitous in our conversations. And then when you're speaking here now about raising the bar, you know I'm all for education. But all CA was saying is this. If you have a room full of idiots and you're the only smart man in the room, guess who the jackass is? That's all we're saying to you. You got to know your environment, and all a politician wants to do is win. That's the bottom line. If we can't understand that, it's on us.
Let's read some of this text and go to the phone line again. It says, not one city has a biometric card. No, I'm sure at least about 5-10 people has a biometric card. So this text says, if money wasn't leaking out of the Treasury back door through the overinflated contracts, government wouldn't need high duties, VAT, property tax, and gas taxes. This means food, gas, insurance, fish, conch, fast food, building supplies, stove, fridge, cars would all be cheaper to the tune of thousands per household, and nobody would need a $70 voucher. But he is right. It's a people of the Bahamas problem. Demand, contract, corruption, stop. Right? This text says, we spent $30 million for a useless card. Oh, God. This text says, so nobody's moving on. You could keep that. This government will have a flashlight on it from day one. This would have been the same for change administration. We ain't waiting 5 years. Well, that's what that text goes. Let's see this one. It says, CA, who Bahamian people y'all talking about? You only talking about partying PLPs, people 60,000 votes in the country, or 450,000 allegedly. This country finished, and y'all are complicit. The Bahamas is not finished. When we consider the population of Bahamas, those who actually vote is the one. Those who actually vote is the one we could talk about. But let's go to the phone line now. Okay, we have background feed. That's what Kermit's telling me. Go ahead to Patrick calling through. Go ahead, Colin.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. They're trying to make sure.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on the campaign reform, right? Do you really think in the Bahamas we are prepared for that? The reason why I'm asking that question, right? You realize that be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. What I mean by that is, right, you think most of these rallies and the campaigns will look how it look now with campaign reform? You see those nice quality product shirts, you see those nice quality product umbrellas, you see the nice food being served. With campaign reform, you could forget about that. Most people rallies will look similar to Lincoln on. Only way people when go to A1 no food, you'll be getting served hot dog and French fries. I could guarantee you that. Where do you think the money come from? You think the money just land off or shake off trees? The money coming from somewhere to finance the campaigns. But if we have finance campaign reform, then these quality products we'll be getting during elections would not happen.
There you go.
I guarantee you have a plain white T-shirt with some crayon marks on it.
I understand what you're saying. Thank you very much, Caller. This text says, good morning. I also did not vote because these politicians are too corrupt. I'm not sure which politician he or she is saying. You said, by saying these politicians, are you saying all Bahamians are corrupt? Or that you better than the politician?
But by and large, listen. Politics is politics. Politics is for the better part, it's human interference in spiritual warfare. That's how I look at it as a theologian, right? When we see a minister of the cloth, someone of the clergy, commit a heinous act, that stop you from going to church? Does that stop your religious faith in God? You know, we just have to mature and understand that we are all humans. We all have our faults. Garth Millard Roseborough has faults. I may not act as if I do, but I do. CA has his faults. You have your faults. And so when we start taking the beam out of our own eye before we look at other people, then maybe we'll be a better nation. We look at politicians as if, you know what, they got to be corrupt because they got to lie, they got to cheat. It's like a lawyer. I've never been a fan of lawyers, but everyone needs to have one, right? Because when it's your turn for defense, you need a lawyer. And so everyone needs a politician, everyone needs a lawyer, everyone needs a pastor. That's just the way the world works. So to say you're not going to participate, that's on you.
Because of one or two.
Yeah, one or two.
It's through the whole baby with the bathwater. Yeah. Let's go to this call and I'll continue with the text. Guardian Radio A.M, you live. No, the caller gone. So let's take this quick commercial break. Let me read this text before we go, because I think this person is talking to you, God. It says, Mr. Golden was a part of a bigger team. To disrespect him is immature. This is one reason why we have not moving as fast as we potentially. We embrace knowledge and experience. We'll take this quick commercial break and be right back.
Call you in for your x-ray shortly.
That's why they call it a waiting room. You won't have that problem at 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiologist can conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And welcome back to Radio A.M. We go to the text line, then to the caller, then ask Garth, what do you think about the 4 names who've been listed as ministers so far, right? There's a lot of, everyone has embraced it. You can't complain. It is what it is. The Prime Minister lists who would be a part of his team, and that's that. I'm not sure if it's even appropriate to even challenge them or that the employees and be the boss so we could do anything we want. But let's read this text and say, we are not moving in the pace with our potential of our people. We are a very hard-headed people, also in some cases very arrogant. And that may be true, texter. This texter says, so God is saying that our system doesn't need to change it and strive for better. So should we just accept it for what it is and don't try to improve it?
Why can't you people behave on a Friday? Something's got to be wrong with you sometimes. Or you all just simply want to challenge the thought. The thought is not to disrespect Golding or the international community. The thought is simply saying to you, before we can even begin to respect those on the outside, when are we going to respect ourselves? That's the point that I'm making. I'm all about respect. Respect has to be both international, but it cannot be international until it first lies within the hearts of Bahamians toward each other. That was my point. Simple as that. When it comes to doing better as a society, of course I'm all for the better. But the better starts with the individual. And until we, the individuals, decide that we want a better way, we'll continue to go around on this cycle. That's just the truth of the matter. And until we say something is wrong with me, see, no one wants to say something is wrong with me. Something is wrong with Garth Minard Roseborough. Let me see what it is. Let me fix Garth Minard Roseborough. That is how we improve ourselves. But instead what we do is, everything is good about me. I'm better than you. My hair is better than you. My skin color is better than you. My education is better than you. My car is better than you. And you're trying to tell me that God doesn't understand, as a Bahamian, that we suffer from a black crab mentality. It exists. Let's get rid of the mentality. Let's go ahead and start to work on ourselves, and let's build the nation. That is my principle that I'm preaching today.
Let's go to this text, this caller. In the meantime, let's read this text. Say, CA, don't mind these talk soup Bahamians. All they like is talking and telling lies.
That's it.
Saturday home, didn't vote. Some of them did not vote and now just running on. I think for the next couple of years, this is the part I found interesting, and thank you very much, Texter, for this. We need to teach Bahamians how to be citizens, politicians, government, and equals to country.
I like that.
Yes, I think that we need to have a national civic program.
Thank you very much.
Where we have pride in ourselves, where we expect more, we are taught this is how it's supposed to run. So when we see it's not running properly, we can identify and say, no. I didn't know that it ain't supposed to be like that. You weren't supposed to turn left on green without a sign. I mean, you all turning left on green.
That's where people like Cleaver come in. Mm-hmm. See, Cleaver, those have a standard. Mm-hmm. We understand the standard exists. We understand that this is where we need to be going. But who's going to take them to that particular level? That's what I think. That's what Michael Pendardos was saying when they said level up. We are looking for the level up. Who's going to rule for the Bahamian citizenry?
Let's see if we get this caller. Guy in Radio A.M, you live?
Good morning, guys. How are you this morning?
Doing well. How you doing?
Well, God Rossborough, I think Cleaver have a U.S. standard, okay? Because everything he speaks about is comparing the Bahamas with the U.S. We have a governance. That's what you have to first understand. And yes, we do have an investigative team from the Royal Bahamas Police Force on the PLP side that does investigation with all candidates, okay, before they're presented as candidates. That's something they've been doing from inception. And one more thing people have to understand, Mr. Newry, a lot of people this morning are complaining, but like you said, they didn't go to vote. At the end of the day, the Bahamas per capita is one of the highest rate per capita that as far as voting, although the percentage of voting has continued to go downward spiral. But if you listen to Chicago Line a couple of days ago, he said it well. He said from 92, the ratio of voting, persons voting has went down. Okay, this ain't something we just started. This has been going on for quite some time. All right, and I would like for Bahamians to now let's come together as one. Put all that aside. The government is now the government, and let's move forward and see how best we could govern this country in the right way to benefit all Bahamians. Have a good day.
Thanks. And please not to complain for complaining's sake. If you can complain, make sure you have a good case. This text says, good day. How do we as Bahamians get our leaders to engage with us? Our leaders say they will and they tend to do different. Voting them out seems not to be a punishment for them anymore. That's a serious indictment. Let's read this one. It says, hello, I'm late to the show, so this may have been said already. There is a number of people that feel, whether right or wrong, that their vote won't matter because both of the major parties do what they want anyway and don't really care about making the country sincerely better. Also, certain families will always have the power. That's the feeling. I see a lot of people bring that up, and I say parties don't manage. It's people. It's Bahamians. The issue is not the party, because the party is not alive. It's an inanimate object. So it's people like me and you who go into the system and say, man, I like it just like how it is. Mm-hmm. It's me. Mm-hmm. It's you. It is not the party. Mm-hmm. It's Bahamians. Mm-hmm. So how do we change the mindset of Bahamians? And perhaps that should be a better conversation. Because the people in Parliament is us. It's I in Parliament. I doing this. The person who texts us, they doing this.
After we have gotten over the grief and hurt and anger and all of the other emotions that are attached to this decision 2026, I guarantee you, CA Newry, that the next hot topic is going to be that of education. How do we now improve the educational level of our country? 'Cause that's what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
You have a new education minister in the form of Chester Cooper, who is the former minister of tourism and aviation, who has done astronomical attempts such as SpaceX and the such. It'll be interesting to see what he brings to the table in terms of education. But we've just had Glennis Hannah Martin, who sat there. I don't know if anyone in particular could say that they saw something astronomically different, but it will be different to see as we move towards a new age.
They serve breakfast now.
Yeah, but come on.
I mean, you asked me if I saw anything new.
Well, I'm just saying astronomically, meaning that as we move towards a new age, all these technological advances, we're dealing with AI and the such. It'll be interesting to see what type of curriculum we now put into our pre-Ks, into our elementary schools, into our junior highs, and into our senior high levels in order to produce scientists with a mindset that they can move the Bahamas as greater nations do.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to this caller. I got to ask the caller what they think about William Monroe as an minister of...
No, he's AG. He's Attorney General now. I mean, Ryan Pinder's gone.
Yeah, he already said he's going. I saw he's moving on. Yeah. He really announced that. He had a party for him and all. Go ahead, caller.
Party.
Yeah, man.
Again, another party.
Yeah.
That you wasn't invited to. I wasn't invited to.
I was not invited to.
And the people wasn't invited to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller. Guy in Radio A.M. You live.
Morning, gentlemen. Sparky here.
Oh, you made it, Sparky.
I'm still in the yard doing things. Although I'm disabled, but Garth, I agree with Garth so many times, but we all try and first of all, self-preservation is always the first law of nature. We are all trying to prove how good we are in everything. Even the talk show hosts try to say who got the best talk show, who's the best talk show host. Even I call it the chronic callers. See, Alan always is who knows the best about data and computers. Popper always calls it of everything. Antoine, he knows more about politics than anybody in the entire world. You got Graham Rutherford, he knows more about solar system than anybody in the Bahamas. He can fix our electricity thing. He believes I'm the best park operator in the world. I got the prettiest park in the Bahamas. We all want to do the best we are. We all want to try to reach to the 70. I reached the 75. I want to be the best and prettiest park organizer in the entire Bahamas. We all want the best for the country. And all of our politicians, FNM and PLP, want to be the best, the richest, and all that kind of thing. Our problem is we got to stop being so niggeritis and want all for ourselves. And we all going to give contract out to friends, families, and lovers. Because God, there's nobody in your life you love more than yourself first. First of all, your God, your country, yourself, your family, and then your lovers and your friends. We all have friends, families, and lovers. And we got to stop talking about contracts for friends, families, and lovers. Somebody got to get the contracts to do something. Everybody wants a job. Everybody wants to work. And some people are going to be left out, and we can be sorry for them. Some people can be on Wolf Road begging for corned beef and grits. Some people can be eating breakfast over Paradise Island, and some people can be in Life of Key eating. Everybody just let's go. All Bahamian, let's do the best for this country. And please, illegal people, go home and build your own country and come back the right way. Have a good day.
Thank you very much.
That was a great call today, CA.
Yeah. Okay, let's clear that. So let's talk about the 4 ministers that we have so far. What can we anticipate? Do you expect it to be a big cabinet?
I think they're trying to manage it, but I don't think they can help it. The numbers are too large. In my honest opinion,
when it's large, you're supposed to have a back bench.
Yeah, but I saw where at one point in the campaign, it seemed as if the Progressive Liberal Party was attempting to manage the number of victors in the election. And then there came a point where they got a green light to say, you know what, we can't take the risk, because it became almost like a cancerous thought that would actually go ahead and engulf the entire party and bring a possible defeat. So that is when we saw the Progressive Liberal Party pouring gas on the flame, and everything just burst wide open. And so now what you're faced with is, what do you do with Joe Beth Colby? What do you do with Wayne Monroe? What do you do with Michael Akitas? What do you do with Chester Cooper? What do you do with Pierre Glover Roll? What do you do with Ginger Moxie? What do you do? And what do you continues to go on? What do you do with these people? And how do you appease them, maintain the level of strength in your leadership, and also prepare for tomorrow's leaders? It's going to be a heavy cabinet. It's going to be a heavy backbench. I don't expect to see no backbench. I think all of them have a chairmanship position. Well, I think the Bahamas was going to need to find additional revenue. Maybe they found it. I'm hearing news that they have found some money.
Lottery?
No.
It ain't going to be lottery.
No.
Something else.
I'm thinking more the carbon credits line type of thing. Mm-hmm. If that happens, of course, we'll be able to afford it. But as we knew it historically, it's going to be too heavy for us.
Mm-hmm. Wayne Monroe as AG, from being one of the premier criminal lawyers, then moving from a criminal lawyer to Minister of National Security and Police, moving from Minister of National Security and Police to the Attorney General's Office for the Lawyers. He has concluded the whole gamut of all.
Even if we don't agree with the PLP, we knew it was coming.
You knew it was coming?
We knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. Certain things you just know is going to happen. Certain people you know are just going to be in there. Keith Bell, Minister of National Security. Mm-hmm. He was the junior minister at one point.
They ain't announced that yet.
Yeah, but we know that that's coming. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just a given.
He's doing well in housing.
Yeah, maybe too well.
It's now 12 o'clock. We'll continue this conversation again on Monday. We'll have a larger number of cabinet ministers, I assume, by then. And we'll do a quick analysis on what do we say. It's Guardian Radio AM. Thank you very much, Gart Roseborough.
Yeah, man.
When you back on radio?
I can't say.
Can't say.
I'm just trying to hang in there.
You're always welcome. Always welcome.
But I appreciate you.
Yeah. Have a wonderful day. We see you again Monday.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.